Tia Mitchell.
I'm KB.
I'm Edith.
And I'm Tracy.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about parenting. We've been on a 2-month break and our kids are out of school. And now we're back at it again, getting ready for this next school year.
And going crazy. Paying for camp.
And feeding these kids every day. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I just don't know what else to cook.
It's the I'm bored for me.
What you supposed to do though? You got to entertain them.
School
takes half of the day, so you only
Most
have
of the day.
Yeah, so you only have a little bit of time. Now you have all day to figure out what they're gonna do, where they're gonna be,
what they're gonna
eat. So
3 times a day.
yeah.
5. My kids love snacks. I swear they ate a whole box of granola bars. Like I bought the big one. It was like 32 in there.
You don't take everything in.
They ate everything in like 4 days. I was livid. I was screaming. I said, you know what? Everything's going high. Chrissy said, oh, mommy, no. Why?
Groceries cost too much to be. I don't even put everything in there. Some stuff stay in my trunk.
It got to.
Yeah.
Because they eat it because they see it.
Yeah, because it's there. And before you know it, you have nothing.
Nothing.
Back at the grocery store again.
It's time to start winding them down and get them ready for the school year. Because Drew be up to wee hours in the morning. I get up to use the bathroom. He's still up. Go to sleep.
Yeah, it's about getting them back on that routine.
They got to get back to it.
Yes, we winding down. And they know in my house, listen here. Everybody lay down. Not right now. Right now.
Shine.
That's right.
The kids.
Everybody. And then sometimes just be like, just forget it. I don't care what they do. It don't matter. And you got to just lay down and go to sleep. They going to be all right.
Turn the lights off. That's all you got to do. Go to sleep.
Right, Drew probably look in the room. Is the senior citizen asleep? I'm getting back up. As soon as you shut the door, they do up to whatever they want to do. That's what it is.
So I'm thinking because we're all at different stages of parenting.
Yeah.
My children are adults and I have grandchildren. So some of the things that you guys are doing with the kids, I'm doing with grandchildren.
That's true.
So it's beautiful. It's different than being the mother. The grandmother
Wow.
is the best. I do not know. It is so weird. I love my daughters, but I never knew that I could love someone like how I love them little boys. I don't know.
It's because they
what it
boys,
is.
girl. The boys hit different.
No, I
Do the
don't
boys
know.
hit different?
I don't know what
the boys
it
hit
is.
different?
The boys hit
My
different.
mom said that
'cause they
being a
boys.
grandparent is different. Like
I'm
It's a
telling you.
special type of love.
It's
is
never
what
had
I
a boy
heard.
either, so it's different.
They say it's a special kind of love.
That's what Mimi said.
love.
She
When
said.
I say I love being a grandmother.
Yeah.
Like I love being a grandmother.
I ain't looking
and
forward
then
to that. Grandma.
So guess what? When it happens, we're all gonna remember this because it's gonna be recorded.
I ain't
You're
said I
gonna-
didn't want to be a grandma. I don't want to be called grandma.
No, you don't have to.
You
you don't have to be called grandma.
It's OGE.
But what I'm saying is that it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're all in different stages. Y'all have children that y'all have to put to bed and have to be on schedule and all that. And grandkids come to my house and I'm like trying to work their schedle
I love
in
that.
my own schedule. So I'm like, this is
don't know about
this is
my
a
life.
lot.
Okay.
You're gonna have to go with me. You have to go with me. Like
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah, because
They was mad. They was mad, said it was too long. Said it was too long. But it was great.
Well, the one thing I do love about my kids, they're 5 and 7. And, so for my life, my children have always moved with me. And they have to move with us because we're entrepreneurs, we're pastors, we got a lot going on. So from birth, I put a bottle in Bailey's mouth and was like, all right, girl, because I got to get it where you can want to go somewhere else too and not just be attached to me, because I always thought about the fact that we have a lot going on in our life. I do
who's gonna
appreciate,
babysit?
and who's going to babysit?
Who's gonna take care of that baby? That baby is stuck
Hollering.
to your hip.
Screaming.
Hollering. And so as being younger, I listened a lot to the advice because I'm like, you know what? I need to make sure that I prepare these kids to be able to be without me too, because I did want somebody to watch my children.
Right.
Not anybody, but somebody. That means my mama and whoever else that I trust with my children. But the point is I think that in parenting, one thing I've learned a lot from it since I'm in the beginning stages is listening to different things of people who have been parenting a long time, because it's helped me to surpass certain things that I wouldn't have to fall into, you know?
Yeah, because we discuss those things in the salon, being able to talk, because you are relatively a new parent, you know, and as time goes on, things is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. So I was listening to this guy on the radio, and he was talking about people think that parenting young kids is like the hardest job.
No,
It's not.
it's a teenage.
The parenting adults is harder than parenting little kids. Little kids listen. Adults have their own mindset.
Little kids, you know, they listen.
No, they do listen.
Yes,
they
they do.
listen.
Sometimes.
They listen. They do what you say. They do it for the most part.
Yeah. They in your house. And they
yeah.
do have
So,
to, yeah.
But adults that are your kids, they can make their own decisions, and you have to roll with it, no matter what you say, no matter what advice that you give, and
Yeah.
they make the decision, say, I'm going to do this, and you just got to roll with it. But a child, okay, I'll say it like this. If I've been through something already, and I'm telling my adult child, you shouldn't do it this way, because this is going to be the outcome. No, Mom, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, look, oh no, Mom, I know what I'm doing. And then when it happened the way that I just told you, be like, see, I told you that this wasn't good. I could save you from money. I could lost money and heartache. I'm telling you something that is vital for you, but you have to learn the hard way. And then we as parents, because you love your adult children, you take on their stuff.
That's true.
So I'm just saying.
31, 20, 25, 12, and they're all different, all personalized. But what I
Yeah.
will tell you is, years ago, I gave up trying to make my kids live the way I want them to. You have to let them go through things. And I think when they go through things, they learn from it. Like, we all have dreams for our kids. Like, we want them to be this, and hopefully you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be this. But I realized that I didn't do things the way my parents wanted to. And I turned out great, didn't I? But I'm just saying, I realized that people are happiest doing what they want to do, not what other people want them to do. And
Yeah, I
as hard
agree.
as it was, I had to let Kennedy be who she gonna be, Kayla be who she gonna be, even though it bothered me, the little things that they do. But I think I get the joy comes back when Kayla will call me and say, Mom, you was so right. Girl, I know, I just want to go. You got to figure it out on your own. But I think it's important to allow your kids to be who they are, because once they become 18, they're adults. So
yeah.
everything you've implemented in them, you have to know that they're gonna live through whatever you taught them.
Right.
And if they make a mistake, it's okay, because nobody's perfect.
Right.
So it took me a long time to get there, but I'm there because I have 4 different personalities.
Yeah.
And 4 different phases of life. Can you
Yeah, you
imagine
do.
that? 30, 25, 19, and 12. Like, I'm dealing with all kind of craziness. But it's like a grown pain. It's not with Drew. I'm way more relaxed because I'm on the 4th one.
Right.
So, but I still, I hate that he's addicted to video games. It's just different. When I was growing up, we were outside. We were having a good time. Drew is very introverted. He'd rather go to play on the game than go anywhere. We had a date today, and I forgot we was taping this. And he called me, hey, Mom, yeah, I have a tournament today. Can we do it tomorrow? I was like, I forgot anyway. It's fine. But he would rather just play in a tournament. I mean, the thing, life is different.
It is.
And you got to treat each kid accordingly, because what Kayla need, Kennedy don't need. What Kennedy need, AJ don't need. So it's like, it's a lot to be a parent, and there's no perfect or right or wrong way. You just got to go with the flow.
It is a lot to be a parent. I have
lot.
a 10-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son, and I feel like my daughter is at that stage where she's in that tween stage. She's finding herself. She can say, I like this, I don't like this, I want to wear this, I don't want to wear that. So we're in that stage, and then my son, he still needs me. So my daughter feels like, because he still needs me, that he's my favorite. That's not the case. It's just that he's still in that stage where he still needs his mom, whereas she's like more independent, and I want to go with my friends, and I want a phone, and and we're just trying to figure that out. So it's an interesting stage, and I'm here for the ride, but I'm a little nervous about the whole preteen stage because I know it's a lot that has to come with it.
Just talk to her.
Just everything. So I'm listening to other people
and be not allowing her friends to tell her stuff.
Yeah.
You tell her everything. So she asks something, she asks a question, don't sugarcoat it. Give it to her. She talk about sex or somebody said something about sex, tell her about it. Tell her the truth about it because her friends don't know. Her friends don't know. They gonna tell her something and she'll think, oh, I touched that boy and I'm pregnant. I mean, like stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we came from the same generation.
Yeah,
My mother, it
so-
was taboo to talk about sex with
Yeah,
your
so
kids.
I talked
told them
I
everything.
talked about sex with my
We
kids.
did, but our parents
Yeah,
didn't.
I did. I talked to riding in school.
no.
We didn't prayed, and I'm like, so this is this. Boys is dirty. You know that the boys is dirty.
Not all of them.
It's the way she
Most
said
of them
it.
boys is
dirty.
Boys is dirty. They don't bathe and to do all of that.
Tracy, be quiet.
Listen,
It's the way you said it though. They're dirty.
dirty. So they would
So are
laugh.
some girls.
They would
Ain't lying about
laugh.
that.
They laughed a lot.
Yeah, because you gotta make
But
it
I
funny.
told them a lot. So I told them all things and not, it won't be that you had to guess it or like I had to guess it. I was the one of my friend group when we was younger. I was the one that told them everything. This is that. This is that. You need to go to parenthood. That was me. Hey, I figured stuff out.
Yeah.
And I did not want to be like blinded because my mom didn't talk about it. My
Mama talked about everything, and I think that's because she worked with in like an alternative school in her second time or whatever she went to do with her life. Okay, my mother's a nurse, but she was over the hospitals, so she worked in an alternative school, and there used to be a lot jumping in these schools. So she used to come home like, let me tell you something, okay? You got this disease, you got that disease, you got. I used to be like, oh my god, why you telling me all of that? I want you to know right now. And so my parents used to talk to me about everything. I grew up a PK, and so, but I didn't grow up a pastor's kid that was like sheltered. My parents talked to me about everything. And so growing up, my parents, I listened to secular music. I did all of that. I went to concerts. My parents were more like, no, she needs to like experience life so that she's not so sheltered. So my mom, I think she was at work like, who these kids off the chain? I got to go home today.
I don't want my kids to be
And let me
like
tell you
this.
about these diseases that they got. And then she's like, let me tell you what's gonna happen. If you don't get it treated, I used to be like, oh, I don't ever want that. So it is powerful to talk to your kids. And because my mom talks to me about stuff like that, I talk to my kids, especially because nowadays, like, the conversation is already happening.
right.
When they in school, like the conversations
On
are
the phone,
happening.
on the iPads, on
and
the
so,
TV.
what they watch, I have to watch what they're watching so that I can talk to them. And then I went through a season of trying to like curve things. And then I decided like, you know what? The reality is that I cannot hide my kids from the world.
Yeah,
I
but
need
they
to prepare them.
for
And,
it,
my husband feel the same way, right? He felt like, no, they have to prepare for the world because it's not reality if they think that only in this household nothing happens. No, they have to be able to function.
Right.
And so,
and know how to make it through it.
yes.
Yeah, so we're in this season of trying to find a school because Sanaya experienced some bullying in her fourth grade year that, that Brian felt like was, too much, and he wanted to take her out of school and put her into a different school. But
It's gonna happen here, too.
I'm kind of in the space of, it's gonna happen no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just have to like talk to the kids and let them know, this is gonna happen. You have to be, and you have to know who you are, whose you are. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you have to in a way, you have to stand up for yourself. And it kind of it's like a thin line because where do you go with that? You know what I'm saying? I'm a person who I've never been in a fight before. So for me, it's like you not to put your hands on nobody, but don't let nobody put their hands on you. So that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Trying to teach her.
That's a good
running away
that's a good place.
away from one place to another, which you can possibly have the same situation at the same
You're
location.
gonna have it.
So it's like it's a little stressful trying to.
It's always a kid that is not happy at home and they are going through their own torment and they don't know how to deal with it, so they take it out on other kids. So I don't care if they're in public school, private school, you're gonna have a bully everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It's just teaching your kid to love themselves enough to not allow somebody to take you out of your comfort zone. And so that's, I mean, Sanaya's a very sweet young lady, and she's not. I know it's going to bother a few people when I say this, but environment is a big deal because even for my kids, they're a little naive, like all of them, not just the young one, but the older ones, because they never had to live a tough life. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So some of the things they're exposed to are not necessarily the same as some of the kids they go to school with. So some of the conversations, the language, the behaviors are learned from their environment. And Drew or them will come home, especially Kenny, this is not right. And I'll be like, that's just how some people live. So it's hard because you're raising them one way and they get to school and they're around another thing. And it's like, you got to come home. They come home and you got to reprogram. Right. You got to reiterate. You got to so that's why my kids, we're all close. We talk about everything. We still talk. And Kayla's grown. But she still confided in me. And I'm glad that I built that relationship because growing up, it was taboo to talk about sex. So me and my friends learned periods, boys, sex together because we had older moms who were taught we don't talk about that in my house, what happened in my house, stay in my house, that kind of thing. So we never really got that bond that the kids now are getting. So I enjoyed that, as a parent.
So I was thinking about, for Sanaya, do affirmations to put in her who she is. So she would not allow anyone to come within her bubble, and that she can get them off of her when she know who she is. And because she's not that confident in who she is, and she wants friends, she'll, I won't say allow people to say things that will hurt her feelings, but she wants a friend. So we got to make sure that she know, if none of these kids in this school like you, you are somebody. You're somebody. You're somebody. You're somebody. And they don't have to like you. They missing out.
Yeah,
I know that's right.
I told her that.
But I'm saying something that is repetitive every day. If that means putting it on the mirror in the bathroom, if that means putting it on the back seat in the car so that she see it, I am somebody and I am special, I am smart, and when you start the I ams with her and it gets in her spirit that she know, those bullies will step back because her confidence will come up. I'm somebody. I don't have to deal with that. Last week, I can give a thing. Y'all know how I dealt with fear, and we talked about fear in the last episode, and I see that thing that was on me of fear, that my grandchildren have some. So my oldest grandson, Captain, was going to try out for football. And he goes to the school, and they did the two middle schools. They put them together for them to try out. And it's just conditioning. But the fear of seeing all these kids that he wasn't familiar with, he said he don't want to do it. So I'm like, we doing all of this stuff, like, because you say you want to play football, you don't want to do basketball, you want to do that. So we're trying to encourage you into what you want to do, but you're afraid because of these other people. So I had to give him the things that I had to overcome. So talking about the fear that I overcome being at Heights, coming from Euclid, I was a cheerleader in the 9th grade. I made it the cheerleading in 10th grade, but we moved from Euclid to Heights. So I tried out for cheerleading at Heights, and I was intimidated by all the people. Because we cheer different at Euclid than we did at Heights.
sure do.
Yeah, we cheer different, but we cheer different. And I allowed the kids to get in my that I didn't do what I needed to do to
You didn't perform the way you should have performed.
And so that stuck with me. But I guess God allowed it to so that I can give it to him. Because once I gave that story to him, he said, I'm going to go tomorrow. And I'm like, yes. He went and loved it. He was like, I loved everything about it. I'm so glad that you told me that, Gigi. I'm so glad. And I was like, see, we're not going to allow people to dictate what we want to do.
That's right.
So if these people going to bully, they going to bully her. They are insecure with themselves. So we got to get her built up. Like I worked on him, he loved it. So to keep reiterating who you are. His name is Captain. I'm like, Captain is a leader.
That's right.
You are not a follower. You don't have fear. Captains did everything and they were first. Think about that. So it doesn't matter. The people, the kids that bully her, look at Sanaya is sweet, like you said.
And but her hair always done, and she always cute. You gonna have it,
yeah,
baby.
She's
I told her that from the very beginning.
She's well dressed.
I did. I said, people are not gonna like you because of your appearance and what you have to give.
Right,
but
and they have their own things of not being able to have. You know, she can choose what she want to have. I want to wear this, or that, and can have on something different every day, and don't have to repeat. And some kids have a hard time with that, and they see it and they like, she's sweet, but she don't have that rough around the edges, so she don't have that get back.
People prey on that.
Yeah, she don't have that get back. You know, her feelings be hurt. So I know this sound bad, but we got to get her a get back. It's like,
well, in my house, my kids already know. Don't let nobody put their hands on you. If they do, knock them out.
But I see, I had told
that's
Sonya
what
that
it is, because
if
you allow it, they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, one time.
I don't believe in violence.
I don't think
he should start. But if somebody hits you, you better hit them back. Because
I don't think that you should. I don't think that you should change the school.
I don't either, because it's.
It's two people in this that have to make the decision. So I mean, I'm okay with letting them stay there, but we have another 50% of another person.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying that if, just like you said, anywhere she goes, she got to be confident in her.
In life.
It doesn't matter what school she's at.
I know.
She's still going.
Yep.
And if she don't know how to get them off of her, it's going to be hard. So we had our discussion with her that day. I had the discussion, and I know y'all say don't hit first. I always hit first. I want nobody.
Okay, Debbie don't even talk. She just gonna hit you.
I hit first. Nobody was gonna get the first lick in. I was getting the first lick in. I'll take the punishment.
I'll take the opposite. I think you should start violence, but if somebody hits you, you better finish it.
I didn't say. The violence started when you started all of that stuff. I had to go.
Tracy.
So I did. But
the violence started at the mouth.
At the mouth, yeah. But I would take the suspension.
Let people say whatever they want to say.
Suspension.
Well, I don't know, because
kicked out of school, all of that.
When I was in school, in high school, this girl, she remember get to ride the bus home. Well, she thought that she would just open up the bus window and pour water on my freshly permed hair. Now that
I know you lying.
Was a problem.
That's violence.
So immediately I just saw red, and just got on the bus. I do remember the bus driver saying no. My friend was like, no. And I was like, move. And it is. But when my dad came pick me up, they said she's going to be suspended. He said, well, what'd she do? They said, well, a young lady poured water on her hair. He looked, he said, well, that was about right. It's gonna be all right.
I'm that parent too. Dre is Tracy.
I'm that parent too.
Don't let nobody something. They get in your space, you beat their ass.
Yeah. But in your space,
teaching your son violence. People can say whatever they want. That doesn't give you the right to touch them.
In your space. If you in my space, it's not good. Step back from my space. I got my own issues. So, like I'm saying,
in today's time.
As kids,
in today's time, they can't be rumbling because they don't know how to rumble no more.
Yeah, as kids. So. I mean, I think about my growing up as a I was the timid kid. So
I don't
could
believe it.
I was the timid kid. I was the kid that didn't want to. I fight everybody in the house, but outside the house, I ain't do
fighting
nothing.
your family?
What? I fought
Fighting
my
your
sisters. I
family.
fought my cousins. My brothers. We all was in the house together. Well, yeah. So, and I would
That's why
get a
she
whooping
came out
all the
a-
time. I would
that's
get a
why
whooping
she
all the
came out
time. Be
a
like,
warrior.
whatever. Yeah, be like, whatever. But then outside the house, I was pushed to do it. Once I was pushed, it was over. I wasn't scared no more. So every time somebody said something, I was on it. You're not going to get the best of me. I'm going to get you before you get me.
Well,
and I did it. I fought from the 7th to the 12th grade.
I think that the thing,
every
the,
year.
the thing about that was back in the day.
From the 10th grade till I was 26. Don't play in my face.
Then I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna
I
switch
didn't.
it, but I'm gonna switch it. I have another thought to parenting.
I mean, that light skin thing is real. That's gonna be what we talk about next. But you think you cute because you this, and that's what I'm saying. For tonight, the kids are gonna always have somebody. If you doing right, they're gonna mess with you. If you're doing wrong, they're gonna mess with you. So you just got to teach them how to deal with those situations. The whole reason I started my nonprofit was because I didn't know how to deal with my emotions properly. So I felt like I needed to respond to every broad that said something or threw a drink or did whatever. Not a drink, you getting it, but whatever happened, I felt like I had to respond, but I really didn't. I could have walked away. I could have ignored it. So I was teaching my kids to be a little different. But Dre is straight out off of St. Clair. It's going down. It's going down. Every kid, he'd be like, just beat him up. Kayla, her grandfather taught her the same thing.
Well, I just say, I'm not. I think you can look in your environment of what's going down at that time and do it. In my time, I fought. It was bad. My mother was so mad. Like, why do you keep doing this? Say what these people want you to say so you can get back in school. I was like, I can't, because I'm not going to say that I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to do it again. If something happens, I'm going to defend myself.
That was me.
So, so I taught mine, you get in trouble at school. I'm not that parent that's going to be coming to the school like, all of that crazy stuff. That ain't me. I'm like, okay, they got suspended. Okay, we're going to do our little suspension time, whatever. You got to do what you got to do to make it through this. You got to figure out your space. And that's what I'm saying for Sanaya. She will have to figure out her space.
She's still young, though. It take a long time to get there.
Think about it, Edith. She's finding herself now. She's a tween.
No, she is, but I'm
so
saying
she's a tween.
If she was 15, I would be concerned, but she's 10.
No,
so this is probably her first year. This is the first year she probably really went through bullying. So she's going to learn her way with the guidance of them. But at the same time, the fact that Brian wants to run, it's going to happen again. So you have to give her,
that's
like
what I'm
KB
saying.
said,
You gotta
equipped her with how to get through the struggles of life, because I'm telling you, like I tell Kennedy, like I tell AJ always throw the race car. They so racist. Okay, you're going to deal with racism your whole life. So what are you going to do? Call the racist card, you're going to fall in line. I mean, this is not new. We're not reinventing the wheel. All black men have to deal with this. So you just got to teach them and talk them through feeling like they're inferior or not good enough, or being singled out because they're black or whatever it is. Just teach her how to deal with the situation, because you can always run.
But
go from place to place.
But she's going to the same. She's going. Mm-hmm. And it's something about her that they feel like that they can tease her or that they can pick on her. You know what I mean?
I think that
it's just dumb.
I want to switch it a little bit,
sad, though.
I just think that at the end of the day, period, everybody is becoming. You becoming in life. You got to find your thing. Mm-hmm. You gonna go to school, no matter which school you go to, and you gotta find your people. And in parenting, it's like you finding your people. Whoever's not your people, they gonna pick on you. You gonna go through that. You gonna go through that in adulthood.
Right.
People not gonna like you, and how we deal with that has a lot to do with how how much we work on our inside, right? So when you are young and you are trying to fit in, okay, now that's our time to talk to our kids about fitting in and how they were made to stand out, how that's what y'all basically saying, how their uniqueness is magical. And find that magic and let that shine and be you, because it's gonna be okay, you know, as they become. And like, to me, because no matter where they go, I don't care, white school, black school, private school, public school, it don't matter. Somebody is upset. But at the end of the day, everybody is becoming, even the bully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying, maybe it's the pastor and me, but hey, there's two sides to a story, and everybody's got children, the bully and the person being bullied.
And that's why I said
how
that.
does God be, you know, how do we help them to be who they supposed to be? You know, I mean, at least that's how I think about mine. You know, like, how do you work through this? You know? How are you gonna work through this?